Good morning. How are y'all? Y'all are not here yet. There y'all are. Good morning. It's Monday. I'm in this sweatshirt because I wanted to show y'all of course, y'all saw the picture, but I thought I would show you the live, but I'm burning up. Isn't it cute? Are y'all not? I know that y'all have probably seen all the scammers on my page, but this is I'm going to read you my message right now. You're extremely gorgeous. Wait a minute. You're extremely gorgeous. Can you please message me on Facebook? I mean, these messages are driving me nuts. This weekend, I had someone video me reading my book, and like scammer messages were coming over my phone, and she was like, Judy. I was like, I know, it's awful. It's like awful. I mean, I'm getting messages like, I don't know, like they're so corny. Like, you're as beautiful as the rose in the valley. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to come up with a better pickup line than that, because that is not gonna work for me. It's just crazy. Anyway, I have I'm gonna say I strained my voice. I think I talk too much this weekend, and my voice box feels strained. And I had to read the book yesterday too, and I just feel like my voice. So if I sound a little funny this morning, you know why. How are y'all? Let me read y'all's messages. Let's see. Y'all are going too fast. Good morning, Diane, Mary, Jane, Cheryl, Jackie, Laura, Judy, Kayla. Okay, that's who I was talking about. It's Kayla. Good morning, Chris, Sharon, Heidi, Judy, Jackie, Christy, Heidi. You get marriage proposals too. Good morning, Tammy, Loretta, Rethia. Am I still here? I hit the wrong button. Am I still here? Can y'all see me? It says I'm live. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, good. Okay. I have a lot to talk about today. A lot. So I want to make sure I give people enough time to get on here and so forth. I first want to talk about this shirt right here. I should have brought the other shirt, but my saying. Of course, you guys know what it means to dance. And basically, I mean, I'm not saying I didn't design this shirt for you, because I did, but I really designed it to spread the word about not sitting it out. Wait, getting the choice to sit it out or dance. I had it designed to spread awareness about that you have choices in life. And I hope that if you do buy a shirt for someone, I hope you don't just give it to them and go, this is Sneed's Farmhouse, I'll watch her live. Like, I hope that you don't do that. I hope that you give this shirt to someone and explain to them that they have choices in life, and explain to them what it means to dance. Because, the word dance means to dance, right? But it's so much more meaningful when you realize that you have two choices. So as the holidays come, and even if it's not, not the holidays, if there's someone that that could use this shirt and be reminded that they can dance because they're going through a lot in life, or I don't know, maybe they have some issues dancing, they are maybe just um constantly sitting it out, and they don't know they're sitting it out, right? They don't know that. They're just like, uh, my life is terrible. They just don't realize that there's a choice. They don't have to sit it out. So I hope that, oh, that looks good. I hope that when you see someone like that, that you'll think about, I mean, you don't have to buy a shirt. You can buy a dollar sticker, and just explain to them that they have a choice and they don't have to live their life like that in misery. So that was the thought behind this design. And Jacqueline had actually helped me. I was thinking about having pigs dancing, and then we found these chicks, and I was like, my farm started with chickens, and so I thought, well, that would be appropriate. Um, my hair, I just don't know about it today. I wasn't gonna curl it, but I'm thinking it needs something because it's bad. All right, guys. I don't know if I should pull out my preach. I need to pull out the preaching stick today because we're fixing to get deep. Okay. I don't even know. You know how sometimes I start talking and I can't I can't talk and do my hair and do my makeup at the same time. I start getting frustrated, and then I turn my curling iron off, and then I get mascara all under my eyes, and it's just a difficult time for me. It's going to be one of those conversations. So if I just stop doing my makeup in the middle of this, you know why. Okay. Oh, let me say this real quick. If you came out and saw us Saturday, thank you. It meant a lot to us that people would drive hours to come see us and meet us, and not just me, but all the YouTubers. You have no idea like what it does to us. Like you feeling like you're part of our family means the world to us, because like sometimes when we're out here and we're creators and we're doing videos and we're telling our story, and like we don't really know the connection that we make to you guys. It's like hard for us to say like that somebody would want to watch our videos all the time and make a connection to us. And it means the world to us that people come here every day watching us live and telling people about us, and where you feel like, I'm your Aunt Judy. I am your Aunt Judy. I don't want you just to feel like that. I want you to know it. Like, you're my family too. I think the world of you just as much as you think the world of me. And people come to my table this Saturday and were like, I watch you all the time, but I don't comment. And I'm like, you've got to comment, because that's the way I get to know you. Like, if you don't comment, like when you come meet me for the first time and you say my name's Cindy Lou, and you don't comment, I have no idea who Cindy Lou is. But if you comment all the time, I'm going to go, I know exactly who you are. You live in New Orleans and you have 3 kids, because I do read the comments. And that is that is the way for us creators to get to know you. And we don't want this one-sided, like we don't want this to be all about us. We want a friendship with you. We want a relationship with you. And when you have a relationship with someone, it has to be both sided. I can't just tell you all my crap, like that's one sided. So we really, like when you comment, that's how we get to know you guys. And some of you guys send me letters and tell me, about your family, and it means the world to me. I read those. So just know that this is not one-sided. Okay. This is going to be a little hard for me to talk about because I have never spoke about it out loud. So I'm going to try not to cry like a baby. Go grab your protein. You're going to need some protein because this is going deep. We're going deep today. We're going to places I've never been before. All right. I don't know if I can get ready and talk about this at the same time. So I'm going to do my best. All right. This past week, if you're close to the Alabama area, you probably have heard the story because it was all over the news. But there were two police officers, or they were in law enforcement, and this couple was a young couple and they were dating. And I don't know how long they had been dating or anything, but the story was she and some friends went to the beach, I think Panama City. No, Orange Beach. Her and her some friends went to Orange Beach, and the other cop, which was her boyfriend, ended up going to the beach to see her. And they got in some type of argument, and he shot and killed her, and then he shot and killed himself. And both of those police officers are from Coleman. And I read the story, and immediately my heart just fell to my feet, and I started feeling fear, because I had a flashback of a situation that happened to me probably about 15 years ago. And so as I sat there and read the story, and it's on the news and it's all over social media, I just had this burden that I thought, I need to talk about what happened to me. I've never talked about it. The only person I've ever really talked about it with is Shane and a counselor, because it was that bad and it's embarrassing. So, I don't know what fight they got into, but the first thing that came to my mind was affair. And that's not what, I'm not saying that's what happened because I don't know. But like, I began to feel like I wanted to talk about infidelity. And I want to talk about infidelity simply because it happens all the time. A lot of relationships face infidelity. And how do you get past it? Or can you get past it? And, it just is a sensitive subject to me because I have been on both sides of the equation when it comes to infidelity. I've cheated and I've been cheated on, and both sides are absolutely horrible. Um, 15 years ago, I was married. I don't think I can get ready. 15 years ago, I was married, not to Shane, to my ex-husband. And I was on Facebook, and you know how you reunite with your high school people on Facebook. And there was this guy that I went to middle school. I think I even went to elementary. Like, I went through whole school with him. So I know him very well. Like, I know his family. I think we went to elementary school. I know for a fact we went to middle school together, and we went to high school together. And so I know him. And it was a running joke because my senior year in high school, he asked me to the prom. And I was like, no, but heck no. I am not going to the prom with this guy. And the reason is because he was kind of in the nerdy crowd. And I was more of the cheerleader, football, dance line crowd. And I felt like I had a reputation. The last thing I'm doing is going to the prom with this guy. And so he messaged me on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how are you? I've not seen you in 100 years." And we began to talk. And so we talked, I don't know how long, weeks, months, I don't know. And he brought up the fact, yeah, you ditched me when I asked you to the prom. And we began to laugh our heads off because I was like, no, I'm not going to prom with you. So we laughed and joked. And so as the days went on, he would always message me. And we would laugh, and it was like we were reminiscing about school. Hey, remember when this happened? Hey, remember this teacher? You know how you do. And so we began to talk. And I'm innocent, right? Because it, I'm not having an affair with him. I'm just talking to him, right? And that's where it begins, right? We all know this. If you've been in the situation where infidelity has been present, you know how this works. It starts off really innocent sometimes. And so he asked me to go to lunch one day. And I was like, well, I'm not doing anything. I guess I can, but I didn't tell my husband. And it wasn't really that I guess I was keeping it from my husband, but it was innocent because this is a friend. This is a guy that I've known my whole life. Like, I know his family. Like, it's not like I'm having an affair. So, like, I didn't tell my husband because I didn't, obviously I thought he would get mad, but I went anyway. So I went to lunch with him, and then we began to talk more and more and more. And he ended up really starting to, like, show me, like, I've always liked you. I've always thought you were pretty. I think I am gonna put some makeup on. You're pretty. I've always thought you're pretty. I've always loved your mom. Stuff like that. And I could feel it kind of coming on, but like, how then, like, it kicks in and you kind of start looking forward to hearing getting their message. And then it went from eating lunch one time to eating lunch two times, and it just kept escalating. Okay. And this went on, I'm going to say 8 months, maybe something like that. And how do I put this? We just kept getting closer. Okay. Then when I realized that this guy that I went to middle school with is ready for me to leave my husband and, like, get married to him, I started getting scared because I was like, this is not where I was headed. And so I began to back away. I'm like, I'm committed to my husband. Like, I'm not wanting to leave my husband. And he began to turn on me. And he began to, it was almost like a threat. It was almost like, if you leave me, I'm going to send your husband the pictures that we took at lunch or whatever. And then I began to get scared because I was like, oh no, I've got myself in a bad situation. And I was to the point where I was embarrassed because I realized, oh my gosh, this is probably a full-fledged affair now. And I'm having this affair and I can't talk to anybody about it because I'm embarrassed. Because now I've hurt this guy because he's wanting to get married to me, and I don't have the same feelings. And because I talked to him every day and went to lunch with him multiple times, now I've led him on to think that there's going to be a relationship, and I have nobody to talk about it with because I was embarrassed. Well, at the time, I was an aerobic instructor. Okay. And let me back up a minute. When we met for lunch, he began to tell me this story in the beginning of the relationship. He kept telling me the story about he had just got a divorce, and his wife had taken everything from him, his car, and he was left with literally a couple of shirts on his back. And so he told me that he couldn't see his kid because his kid was in, like, there was a molestation thing, not from him, but his kid had gotten in, like, a family member had done something, and so they were protecting the child. He tells me all these stories, and I'm feeling sorry for him, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, his wife has left him. And he began to tell me that they had this big old huge house, in Chelsea, and they lived in this beautiful, he sent me pictures of his house, like he's, making me really feel sorry for him because his wife has left him for another man and he's left with nothing and he's living in a hotel right now. I'm falling for every bit of this because I know him. I went to high school and middle school with him, right? I'm believing everything that he's saying. And I'm beginning to soul him and go, I'm so sorry that you've been through that. I've been through a divorce too. And I know what it feels like. I'm like really involved in what he's telling me. Well, he tells me that he doesn't have a car. So what would end up happening is I really felt sorry for him because, like, I was thinking in my head, I guess I was dumb. I was thinking, how does he get to work? And it just, well, one night when I started backing away from him because I realized that he was wanting something that I didn't want, and he began to start threatening me. It started escalating. And I haven't even told like at this point in my relationship with him, I've not even told my counselor. I told you guys I go to counseling. I haven't told anybody because I am straight up embarrassed and I'm scared. So then after that, he begins to send me pictures from him outside of the gym, and he's taking pictures of me inside the gym teaching aerobics. And I'm like, why is he doing that? And he was like, I was dying to see you, so I wanted to come show you that I came to watch you teach today. Because you could see me teach from the outside of the building because it was big open windows. So he could see me teaching. And I taught in multiple places. And he was following, like if I had 2 classes in a night, he was following me class to class, taking pictures of me teaching aerobics to show me that he was there watching me. I was starting to flip my lid. Like, I'm starting to feel really scared at this point. And I'm like, I can't tell my husband, right? Because this is bad. So I would get to the point where he would tell me that if you don't answer the phone right now, he would threaten me with, like, if you don't answer the phone right now, I'm going to call your husband and show him the pictures, or I'm going to. I actually gave him my diary before all this got bad, and he read my whole entire diary because I was friends with him and I wanted him to know how I felt about how different situations. So he would threaten me and say, if you don't answer the phone right now, I'm going to, put your diary on Facebook or something like that. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. When I said no more, like, you've got to quit calling me. You've got to quit coming to take pictures of me. I'm scared. You're scaring me. He got excited about the fact that he was scaring me. So then it escalated even more. And it got to the point where he called, and I am not joking. This was humiliating. He called my preacher on the phone to tell my preacher that me and him were having an affair. And at the time, I was teaching aerobics at my church, and he was taking pictures of me teaching at my church. But he began to call and my preacher calls me and says, Judy, what are you doing? And I'm bawling, which is almost like a relief that he called my preacher because at least someone knew. And I began to tell my preacher how scared I was. And my preacher called my preacher, because this guy went to church, okay? Like, I thought he was a good guy. So my preacher ended up calling his preacher and saying, hey, this affair needs to stop. Judy's married. Like, it needs to stop. And it wasn't stopping. It was not stopping. So then it got to the point where he went to my husband's job with a black bag in his hand, and he is posting pictures of him at my husband's work with the black bag in his hand, posting it on Facebook. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's about to kill my husband. It was the scariest time in my entire life. And what I'm here to tell you, because it kept getting worse, y'all. He ended up sending pictures of me and him, because we would take pictures, we would take selfies together when we would meet. He sent my pictures to my brother-in-law, and my brother-in-law sent the pictures to my husband. So that was the first way my husband knew about what was going on. Then he called my sister-in-law and told my sister-in-law that me and him were having an affair. And it was just like, I was humiliated. Then he goes to my kids' school and he's posting pictures of him at okay, that reached the limit. I went to the police and I am bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, I have a stalker. I need help. And the police began to ask me the whole entire story. Well, when they heard that, he was like, the police said, were you having an affair with him? I said, I guess yes. And they couldn't do anything because it was a relationship problem. Okay. I'm scared to go. I'm at the point now where I'm scared to leave my house. I am scared to even go to the grocery store, because everywhere I would go, he would take pictures and then he would begin to post it on Facebook. Then he went and friend requested every single person on my Facebook page, and he had written this document about me and his relationship and sent it to every single person on my Facebook page. So now everybody in the world had known what was going on between me and him. So I went, like I said, to the police. Shortly afterwards, like, I was going to therapy to learn how to deal with this because I was scared to sleep. I was scared for my kids' life. I'm like, do I take my kids out of school? Like, I had to go to my kids didn't even know this. My kids had no idea. I had to go to my kids' school and send a picture of this guy and go, this guy is coming to the school for my kids. It was horrible. So what I'm here to tell you is this. Give me a minute. I'm sorry. What I'm here to tell you is, if you're in a relationship and you're in a marriage and you're in the middle of an affair, you got to get out. Because sometimes an affair starts so innocent because you know this person, you know them your whole life. They're not a psycho. When feelings get involved and one person is ready to move faster than the other person, and you're like, I'm just having fun. Like, this is just fun. This is exciting to me. He shows me attention. My husband doesn't. Whatever you're feeling in the moment of the affair, sometimes it doesn't end well. For my sake, I was fortunate that nothing ended in death. But you think about Lacey Peterson. Y'all know who I'm talking about? Lacey Peterson was pregnant. Her husband was having an affair. The mistress didn't even know he was married. And then he kills Lacey Peterson and his infant, or, fetus in Lacey Pearson. And he killed them because he wanted to be with this other lady. And sometimes you find yourself, and I'm going to tell you my feelings on affairs and infidelity. It is an addiction. You get caught up in it and you can't get out. You can't, it's almost like you can't stop it, because it is what happens is when you're being sneaky, um all these feelings come that are not real. It's an emotion. And sometimes emotions play a strong role in how we're feeling, because we're our adrenaline is running off emotions because it's exciting, it's fun, it's like it's adventurous, like, like you're all caught up in all this just excitement and the sneakiness, and this person is so much better than my spouse because they show me attention, the sex is better, the everything is just better. You get caught up in that, and if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. And love is not a feeling, okay? In a relationship, when you're first into a relationship, love is a feeling. You're all giddy inside. It's all fun. It's all exciting. You want to be on your best behavior because you're in a new relationship. Well, all you people that follow me, you're all adults, and you know that goes away, right? And then you're in a marriage, where it's not all bells and whistles, right? It's just awful. It's not awful. What I meant, that didn't come out right. You're in a relationship where you're in reality. You have problems. You worry about finances. You have stress of taking care of parents or stress of kids. And like you kind of forget the connection that you have to your spouse because reality cuts in. Love is not, and for the longest time, I thought love was a feeling. And I was like, but I don't feel love. Like you don't make me feel good inside. You're not giving me what I need. I need to feel loved, and you're just mean and you're ugly, and like you're not you're not doing anything for my birthday, or like you think love is a feeling. Love is not a feeling. Love is a commitment. Love is being there through thick and thin. When you're up giving your vows, it does not say love is a where you feel all giddy inside. You're going to get married and feel all giddy inside for the rest of your life. No, that is not what happens in a marriage. And you find yourself when you get in um, I guess like a lull, like the excitement goes away, and you're like someone gives you a little bit of attention. Sometimes you can find yourself like okay, like for example, these morons that are messaging me asking me to marry them, like these scammers. Like if I was feeling really bad about myself, I could go, oh my gosh, this man is telling me that I'm beautiful like the roses in the valley. Shane never says that to me. Oh my gosh, this guy thinks that I'm beautiful. It's been so long since Shane's told me I'm beautiful. This guy messages me every single day. You know what I mean? Like you kind of get stupid for a little bit, and you like will find yourself doing that. And that is not love. That is not what God calls a marriage. Like that, a love is a commitment. A love is sticking beside someone. And like I'm opening up about infidelity because I want to tell you my story, because if you find yourself caught up in like you're missing something out of your marriage, like he doesn't show you attention or she doesn't ever, I don't know, give you physical attention, and you find yourself wrapped up in this in a marriage, you need to go fix you. Okay? Because it's not that marriage is not about being like lovey-dovey all the time. Uh Love sometimes is like, for example, yesterday, Shane my son came here and Shane and my son cut wood together. And like when I see Shane helping my kid, that is an attraction to me. I'm like, look at him. He's, like, and then he went over to my son's house and he helped my son build a lean-to. And I'm like, look at him. Just look at him. And I'm sure, like, with him, when I'm, with his kid, his daughter or something, he might, maybe he doesn't because men are different from us. But like, that's an attraction to me. And like, sometimes you have to back up. And when you find yourself like missing something in your marriage, that's when you don't need to depend on your husband for happiness. You need to depend on yourself for happiness. You need to be whole within yourself because your husband or your wife is not going to meet all your little needs that you have. You have to do it yourself. You have to be, if you find yourself feeling lonely, but you're married, okay? He's not giving me attention. You've got to go get help before it leads to some guru off the streets going, oh my gosh, your hair is beautiful. And the next thing you know, you're having an affair with him. And the next thing you know, he's trying to kill your husband. And you're like, wait a minute. I was just having fun. Like, I didn't mean for it to go to this extreme. And neither did, like Scott Peterson. Like, I keep talking about him because that's one thing that I keep thinking about is like, do you think for a second that he thought, I'm going to have an affair and then I'm going to kill my pregnant wife? Like, it's going to lead to this. No, but you get so wrapped up into the affair that you have no idea what's going to happen. Do you think me talking to a guy that I went to school with my entire life that was going to stalk me? No, I know this dude. Like, I would think a stalker would be somebody that I don't know that sees me, like, I don't know, on social media and then decides he's going to start stalking me. I think that would be a stalker, not someone that I went to elementary school with and high school with. And to make a long story short, with that guy, it was, I'm going to say probably a month after I totally cut off all ties and everything come out in the open. His mugshot is all over Facebook. He's wanted. And I was, and people were tagging me and they were like, Judy, look. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's wanted by the police. So I pick up the phone and call the police real quick. And I'm like, I'm the one who, contacted y'all. They called me in. There was like 10 women that he was doing this to. There was 10 of us. He ended up going to jail. But there was 10. And so like where I thought I knew this guy so well, I didn't. And I'm just telling you that you need to be careful. If you're in a little conversation with someone and you're like, oh, this guy I went to high school with, and this is an innocent, I'm not having an affair with him. We're just talking, but I'm not telling my husband. If you're doing something, now this is my opinion, okay? This is my opinion. If you're doing something or talking to someone or doing anything that you can't tell your husband or your wife, you're having an affair. That is an affair. If you're talking to someone that you have not told your spouse about, you are doing something sneaky and it's going to lead to destruction. I'm here to tell you right now, been there, done that, have the medal for it. Okay. It is an affair. And where your brain might be innocent, like I'm just talking to him because it's fun, that guy or that girl is getting attached to you and they want what your wife has. They're like, hey, look at, they have a big, beautiful house. And oh my gosh, he bought her this and he did this and he did that. And oh my gosh, like this girl that you're having an affair with is dreaming of being your wife, where you're just being innocent going, I went to high school with her. I know her. This is an innocent. No, that girl is wanting to be your wife. I I promise you. And she's going to move your wife right out of the way, and your family is fixing to be destroyed. Destroyed. And where you think this is innocent, that psycho girl could get to the point where she's like, I'm going to kill his wife because I want to be with him that bad. And no one thinks about that. No one, when they go into an affair, they don't think it's going to get that, like that. You don't, that doesn't even enter your mind, because you're thinking in your head, you're thinking, this is, I've been talking to him for 6 months. Like it's fine. It's fine. He's married. I'm married. We're never going to leave our spouse. We're just having fun because our spouses don't show us attention. No, 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 no. One person, hang on. One person is going to want you to leave. Like, one person is going to go, okay, I am in love with you and I want you to leave your wife for me. Like, we will have the happiest life ever. And when you get in that relationship, the grass is not greener on the other side. If not, it might be worse. And now you've destroyed your entire family and put your kids through a divorce, and it is nothing but destruction. I do not believe that your relationship is going to be blessed, personally, unless you just totally change your life. I mean, I do know people that have started a relationship in an affair and they totally changed their life, and they've been married for 30 years. I mean, I know that can happen, but I'm just telling you today is I tell my story to spread awareness, because it's not easy to talk about. And do you know how hard it is to tell you that that I did that? Like it's hard. And you're not, if you have, look, I didn't even touch my curling iron and it went off, just to let you know. It's hard to talk about infidelity because it's embarrassing. To me, it's embarrassing because it's not something that I would want to do. And I've talked about my husband having an affair on me, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. I've told the story before, but I know I haven't a lot of new followers. But my husband went to the beach for a Harley Davidson rally, and everything was normal when he left. When he came back, he was like, he walked in the door, bypassed me, went straight to the room. I was like, why isn't he speaking to me? Like, what have I done? He just got home. Like, what the heck? And he started acting different towards me, not speaking to me. And I was like, what is going on? So then he sits me down and tells me that he's leaving me. And I was like, but we hadn't even gotten a fight. What are you leaving me for? And he began to tell me that he was leaving me because I spent too much money. I was the breadwinner of the family, just to let you know. But anyway, I start in a panic mode because I was like, what have I spent money on? What is he talking about? Oh my gosh, did I spend too much money at the grocery store? Like, what is he talking about? And he up and left me. Well, at the time, I worked for Verizon Wireless. And again, I was the breadwinner. So I had a very good job. Okay. Very, very, very good job. Well, I was at work. I was bawling my eyes out because my husband left me. My mother had just passed away a week before. Okay. And then my husband left me. And I'm devastated. I mean, we've been married forever. I'm devastated. And then I start doing, well, I deserve this. I did it to him. Do y'all ever do that? Well, I cheated on him, and so now I need to let him cheat on me because I did it to him. So I need to forgive him. And I started this crap. It was me. I started every bit of this. So that's what I was feeling. So he left me and moved in with his dad. And I was at work one day, and I worked for Verizon, like I said, and All my coworkers were like, he's cheating on you. And I said, no, 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 no. He has OCD. He would like die before he touched anybody. Like, he is not going to touch anybody. Like, he's not. And they were like, go look at your phone bill, Judy. So here I am at Verizon at my desk, and I pull up the phone bill, and there's this phone number nonstop. And I was like, oh my God, he's having an affair. So then my coworker said, Judy, look up that phone number and see if that girl has Verizon. So I'm at my desk. I pull up the girl's phone number, and my husband and this girl have a contract together. And I literally about died. So I go outside. I'm crying my eyes out. I call my husband and I said, who is this girl? And he's like, how do you know about this girl? I said, dude, I work for Verizon. I know you have a contract with her. I'm sitting here looking at it. Okay. That girl, that wonderful girl, called Verizon every single day until I lost my job for looking up their account. So here I am, the breadwinner. He's left me. I'm trying to take care of me and my kids. My mother has just passed away. My husband has left me. And now I have lost my job and can't pay for anything. That girl called every single day until I lost my job. And I'm like, what did I do to you? You're the one that's having an affair with my husband. Like, what did I do to you? And I lost my job. And to make a long story short, my husband ended up coming back to me, and I was like, what? And he was like, I never thought that she would do that. Well, of course not. No one goes into an affair thinking that they're dating a psycho, you know? Like, like when you're in the middle of the affair, do you think they're going to go to your husband's job with the black bag or your kid's school? You need to think that way. Because where my husband was in the relationship and he never dreamed that would happen, I never dreamed that the boy would be going to my kid's school or my husband's job. It happens. And I hope that I tell you these stories because I don't know how many people are on here right now. Let's see. 182 people are on here right now. And I promise you, there's probably 50 right now that are having an affair because you're lonely or because someone gave you a little bit of attention. And I'm here to tell you, listen to your Aunt Judy, because it may not end well. And if you love your children and you love yourself, get out of it. I know that you think they're your knight in shining armor and they're so much better than your spouse or whatever. Okay, if you're in a relationship where you feel like you need to have an affair, you need to get out of that relationship first. Don't build a relationship upon a relationship. Trust me. I had that medal, okay? I don't tell you that. I don't have mascara on. I don't tell you that without having the experience myself. I'm not perfect, just like you're not perfect. And I say, and if you're scared to get out of the affair like I was, you need to go to counseling, go to your preacher, go to the police, like something. Well, I say go to the police. The police did nothing for me. The police did nothing for me until there was 10 women that had been harassed by him. And as a matter of fact, when I started Sneed's Farmhouse, I was scared, shitless to put all my stuff on social media. Because for the longest time, I was very, I had everything private. I would have never put my phone number, address, anything on Facebook. But I had to get over that. I can't live in fear the rest of my life. And probably 2 months ago, I'm driving down the road, and when my phone rings, I get phone calls about field trips and, tours, and I don't know who they are, right? And my phone rings and I pick it up and I'm driving down the road, and this guy goes, "Hey Judy, it's Jim." And I was going, Jim, who is Jim? Jim. Because I went to school and his name was Jimmy. That's how I knew him. I don't know him as Jim, but he said, "My name is Jim." And I said, "Who?" He goes, and then he said his first and last name. And I was like, and I immediately hung up the phone, I immediately blocked, and I go into complete panic. Just 2 months ago. So something I did 15 years ago, it still haunts me to this day. But Shane Sneed is not going to have that. I promise you. That dude does not need to want to drive up into Sneed's farmhouse. I promise you that. He'll regret it. But Shane makes me feel safe. Shane makes me feel protected. I don't feel scared. Shane makes me feel very protective. He does. And I'm not scared anymore. But I had to go through a lot of therapy to get me to the point where I would leave my house because I was that scared. And I don't know if you've ever been through harassment, but it is a very scary feeling. And you may tell you what's scary is I'm getting the preaching stick out on this. Okay, listen. If you're just following me for the first time, this is a curling iron, but it's also a preaching stick. And when I get serious, I bring this preaching stick out because I want you to know that I'm serious. Okay? Is if someone wants to hurt you, okay? If someone wants to really hurt you, they're not going to hurt you. They're going to hurt your family. Because that's really going to hurt you, because then you're alive and you have to watch the repercussions of it. So when you're in the middle of an affair, or you're in the middle of thinking about an affair, or you're in the middle of any of that bull crap, just know that it might not be you that gets hurt. It might be your child, or your mother, or your dad, or your spouse. And I know that's hard to think about, but it can happen. It almost happened to me. So know that. And I tell you that because I know if you are having an affair, you're hurting inside because you feel like your marriage is a wreck and you just want attention because you're lonely. And there's so much more out there than an affair. There's so much more love out there than a man or a woman. When I tell you to dance, and I wear this shirt because when you sit it out is when you allow yourself to get into stuff like that. You allow yourself to to lower your standards because of a feeling, because you feel lonely or you feel like your marriage sucks or whatever. You're sitting it out, people. And when I tell you to dance, I mean, go take care of yourself. Go get help. You hate your marriage? You're miserable? Get out. Get out. Get out before you ruin everybody's lives. Like, go do what you need to do. Fix you. But don't get out unless you know that you've done everything in your power to make it right. And like, if you're sitting here wanting your spouse to get better, you need to stop and look in the mirror and go, but what is my issues? What am I doing wrong? Instead of going, he does this, he does that, she does that, she does that, she doesn't do this, she don't do that, she don't clean the house, she don't give me whatever. Stop. 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 What do you do? What do you need to fix? What do you need to fix? Because you can't fix other people. You can only fix yourself. And if you're leaning towards another person for happiness and you're finding yourself in an affair, it is going to lead to a dead end. It is going to lead to a dead, you know this. I don't even have to tell you this. You know. I mean, come on. We're not all dumb. We're all adults here. We all know that's going to lead to a dead end. Like, is not going to be blessed. Okay. It is not. So, what time is it? We got 10 minutes. Do y'all have any questions for me? I realize I haven't put on my mascara, but I don't think I can. Um, um, sorry I cried. I'm not sorry, to be honest with you. I'm not sorry I cried because it's just part of, when you talk about stuff deep, it's like stuff that you need to talk about, and sometimes you get emotional about it. Um, um, the link to my sweatshirt is on my website. Let's see if I can do this. I'm pulling a Brooke and I'm putting www. I love Brooke. And like I said, did it go on there? Okay, yeah. You can go to my website and there's stickers, there's cups. And if you have a friend, sometimes your friends will talk to you about, I'm in a situation where I can't get out, or I've started this affair and now I feel like I'm in love and all this stuff. And um, give them a sticker. You don't even have to buy a sticker for me. Write it down. Tell them what it means to dance. You don't have to buy a sticker. I'm just saying sometimes it's nice to have a sticker or a cup or something that says, so you're reminded of what you need to do. But if you find yourself in a situation that like mine, do not be quiet like me, because it's going to escalate. So I just say that you go to someone, tell someone, tell someone, tell someone. I remember when the Lacey Peterson story came out, and I can't remember the lady's name that had the affair. I mean, she had no idea that Scott Peterson was even married. Like she had no idea. And when she found out, she about died. And can you imagine? Like, she's in this long relationship thinking she's fixing to get married, and this man is married and is fixing to have a baby. And she had no idea. You know, those things can happen. All right, guys. I know that I went deep today and I shared with you something that I have never really talked about out loud. About it. And if you're my child and you just heard this, yeah, your mom was a loser. Yeah. Yeah, it was a bad time in my life. But I love you guys, and I hope that you remember always that you have a choice in life, and you don't have to live your life in the middle of chaos. And even if it's not infidelity, if it's something else that you're struggling with, you, believe it or not, your brain is so strong that you have the power to overcome that with help. You do. You can get through anything. You are a fighter. And when you set your mind to do something, you can do it. So, whatever holds you down and keeps you from dancing, I hope that you will always remember that you have the choice. You don't have to be like that. And sometimes people say, oh, you don't understand. I'm too old to change. No, you're not. Listen, no, you're not. If I can totally change my life at 50 years old, so can you. Now, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. It ain't easy to always dance. Sometimes people need a little help to learn how to dance. Sometimes people need a reminder to learn how to dance, but it's not, if you want it bad enough, you can do it. All right, guys. I love you and thank you for joining me. And I wanted to show you something that was given to me yesterday at one of my tours. It means a lot to me. It's this shawl right here. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see it. This was made by one of my followers, and it was made out of her alpaca fiber. And she spun this herself. She cleaned the fiber herself, spun it, and crocheted it for me. And it meant the world to me. And you know who you are, but this was very special to me. And it was given to me yesterday. And, you know, it reminds me of a lot of hard work and there's hours put into this, right? And she made it for me and gave it to me. And it means the world to me. All right, guys. Today you have two choices. You can sit it out and be sad, or you can go make a difference, okay? And make a difference in your own life too. Don't just make a difference in someone else's life. You can make a difference in your own life. And it takes one step, do one day at a time. One day at a time. I can't sing. It reminds me of that gospel song. I'm sorry I went there. But you can change your life one step at a time, and just pace yourself. And if you are in a situation in infidelity that you can't get out of, I'm here. If you need to talk, I'm here. I'm here. And not that I have all the answers, because I sure don't, but I can point you in the right direction. Love you. I'll see you. Have a great Monday, and I will see you Wednesday morning at 7 a.m.